Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Dave's Faves. And today I have what I regard as one of the all-time greatest chamber music recordings in the history of the universe. It is the Hollywood String Quartet, on Testament in this case, playing Schoenberg's Verklärte Nacht and the Schubert String Quintet in C major, Deutsch listing 956, if you care about such things. The Hollywood String Quartet, in case you didn't know, was the mother and father of the conductor Leonard Slatkin with a couple other people. Let's see, who else do we have here? We had Paul Schur, who I knew actually was a very nice guy. And let's see, Paul Robin was the viola, and Kurt Rayer was the cellist, and Eleanor Aller was the original cellist in the quartet, who was Leonard Slatkin's mother. They were an extraordinary group. They were a group of Hollywood musicians. They worked in all of the studio orchestras, and when they weren't doing that stuff, they played in a string quartet, which was, without question, right up there with the greatest ensembles that has ever existed. And they made a wonderful and adventurous series of recordings with some very, very unusual repertoire for their day. They did like Villalobos string quartets. They did, the Franck Quintet. They did all kinds of really wonderful and adventurous stuff, played to the hilt. Just unbelievably playing, passionate, immaculate, gorgeous playing. And this disc is particularly valuable. First of all, the Schubert Quintet is absolutely one of the great ones. I mean, these are almost all mono recordings, by the way, but it doesn't matter. They sounded really good. I mean, they were studio musicians. They knew how to make records that sounded good, and they really did. The Schubert Quintet is great. It doesn't have repeats because nobody in those days did them, but it's certainly one of the great performances, and just stunning, in its point and accuracy and projection of the expressive meaning of every single note with a sublime slow movement. And oh my God, it's wonderful. But for me, the real gem here is Verklärte Nacht in its original sextet version. And there are a couple of reasons why. First of all, I've never liked Verklärte Nacht. I think it sounds like 25 minutes. Here it's about that long, 29 minutes of chromatic sludge. I mean, it's just sloppy and slushy and goopy and it's based on a poem. One of these poems about, people wandering around in the wilderness, and she's pregnant and her boyfriend is around and he's going to support her. I don't know if he's the father. I don't remember. I don't care. I mean, it's just this very fin. It's fin, as in fin de siècle. It has that fin de siècle decadent. I love fin de siècle decadence. I really do. I think like Schrecker. Ooh, it's yummy. Zemlinsky. Oh, it's terrific. But, it's just that thickness and that slushiness about this piece until the very end, until all of a sudden, because it's sort of in D minorish or whatever it's in, and then all of a sudden, the transfiguration, the transfigured night part happens in it, and the mists clear, and we hear pure harmony, D major harmony, and it's gorgeous. And in the last 5 minutes, exquisite, magnificent, but getting there, it's very difficult to play. It's very difficult to play intonationally. It's tricky rhythmically. It's hard to sustain because it's basically an adagio. It's mostly a slowish movement. Even when it isn't moving slowly, it sounds like it's moving slowly, because you don't know where it's going. I just find it a very, very tough piece. And this performance just blows away any reservations I might have. It is so on point. It is so shapely. It's so clear. It's so transparent. It's so, clear, expressively clear, transparent texturally. But there's more. These guys and girl, these people, they played the work for Schoenberg. They studied it with Schoenberg himself because, of course, he was living in Los Angeles for the latter part of his career, having, fled Germany with all the other refugees. So he was there, and they played it for him. And apparently he was silenced. He was so, dumbstruck by what he heard. And, the story is in here, actually. I don't know if I'm just making it up, if my memory serves. But they just played the living daylights out of it, and boy, oh boy, this is just the greatest performance I've ever heard of this piece. Oh, it has a program note by Arnold Schoenberg himself. There you go. So that's nice. But oh, and here's the poem. There we go. Here's the poem. Yeah, right. He clasps her round her strong hips. Their breath mingles in the breeze. Two people walk through the high, clear night. Those are the last three lines. And you can read the poem if you want. Anyway, Schoenberg was dazzled by their performance, and so was I. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. If you think you know Verklärte Nacht, you have to hear this. Whether you like the string orchestra, big, thick, gloppier, even gloppier, gluier version, or the original chamber version, which I prefer greatly because at least it offers the potential of clarity, lucidity, limpidity, and all of those wonderful things. And you hear them all in this knockout of a performance. So there you go. The Hollywood String Quartet to Schoenberg and Schubert. And it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.